As I knelt in the sand, photographs came to mind, pictures that had been shown to me just days before by missionary friends who had just returned from 3 years in Laos. These friends showed me seedlings growing in the casings of bombs that were dropped in the war that ravaged Southeast Asia. And they showed me other bomb casings transformed into prosthetic limbs for children to replace legs blown off by landmines. Swords hammered into plowshares. The world transformed, a little bit at a time. I have seen the power of the human spirit to overcome the greatest of evils. I have witnessed the power of what happens at the Nevada test site. Not the power of bombs that move 12 million tons of earth with a single blast, or spew a mushroom cloud 10,000 feet into the air. A stronger power. It is the power that comes when people are willing to trek the loneliest road in the world, to be tested and transformed in the desert, to walk the way of peace. For waters shall break forth in the wilderness, and streams in the desert, and a highway shall be there, and it shall be called the Holy Way.
My grandfather telling me of a battle that he participated in, which is probably a good example of how we look at violence. Apparently at one time the Hurons invaded our territory in northern Michigan. It finally came down to the point where we had to fight a battle. And when the battle was over, the Huron went back to where they were living, and our people and our warriors went out and picked up everyone on the battlefield that was wounded. And in our culture, it was our requirement to take them back, to heal them, and to feed them, and when they were better, to send them home. Well, apparently this had happened in this one battle he was telling me about, and the young Huron that they took into their home and cared for turned out to be the war chief of the Hurons. He went back home so changed that the Hurons declared that they would never invade the Odawa Nation again. This is the way we live, and we still try to do that. Unfortunately, you see the movies about how savage we are. No Indian ever came up with a way of destroying the world. No Indian ever came up with a way of making the Cuyahoga River burn. Indians did not come up with these ideas because we live in harmony with all things. People say that we worship rocks, we worship trees. This is a total misconception. We honor them. And why should we not? They were made from the same stuff as we are, by the same Creator. Do they not deserve the respect? Chief Seattle once said, if we spit on the ground, we spit on ourselves. And this is so true. This test site out here is not just harming Native America. The Shoshone are not here fighting just for you or for themselves. They're fighting for you and your children and all people of this world and all creatures of this world. This issue is bigger than human beings. We are simply two-legged, a small part of creation.
Dear sisters and brothers, the beautiful teachings of Jesus have inspired people over 2,000 years. I think we have to admit that our behavior as Christians has not always been in sync with our beliefs.
I really want to express my gratitude profoundly to everyone at NDE and all of you for being here and for including a Muslim on the panel, particularly given the demographic reality that there are probably not very many Muslims included in the gathering, but increasingly there are many, many more of us who are Muslims who are becoming your neighbors and your friends. A couple of interesting points. One is that there are approximately 1.2 billion Muslims of various denominations and descriptions in the world. We are more numerous than either Protestants as a group or Catholics as a group, but not as numerous as Christians as a group. And the second thing is that there are about 8 or 9 million of us here in the United States of America. Someone laughably said, oh, well, we now have more Muslims in America than we have Episcopalians.
Yes, right.
Well, the Episcopalians don't have to worry because, you're pretty entrenched in things as they are. But we are a tradition that I think requires, both internally and externally, some understanding of tradition. I was searching for something to read for you briefly from Al-Quran, the revelation that we believe to have been from God through the angel Gabriel to Muhammad. And I just wanted to ask you, just a quick show of hands, if any of you have ever in translation read all or portions of the Quran. There must be justice for all people in the world. But I also believe that Gandhi, Martin King, Dorothy Day, who is a saint in any tradition, Thomas Merton, and many, many others have pointed the way to the validity and the effectiveness of nonviolence as a mighty tool for struggle. That is why I believe, as a member of a Muslim Peace Fellowship, as well as a member of the Fellowship of Reconciliation, that it is not simply desirable, but it is possible to win victories over injustice without the use of arms. Finally, I will say, I know I say finally 8 times before I actually stop, but finally I will say that regarding the issue of nuclear war and the use of nuclear weapons and the abolition of nuclear weapons, which of course is very central to our gathering, that the Quran and the Hadith, that is the sacred revealed text and the commentary on the life of Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace upon him, would both be in agreement in that Muslims are prevented and prohibited from waging any kind of struggle in which the environment or innocent civilians are at all harmed. And there are many prohibitions, many prescriptions around the way in which struggle or war in the olden times could be conducted. So it would be impossible to say that one is a Muslim if you go into a town to struggle against an army and in the process kill women and children or kill livestock or even injure trees. What could be more horrifically anti-Islamic than a thermonuclear weapon? So may the peace and blessings of the Almighty God, who is the Lord and Creator and Sustainer of all of us, be with you. I exhort all of you in your own traditions to hold up the light of Christ, to hold up the prophetic teachings of Christ, the love and the peace of Christ, the peace and the love of the Buddha, the peace and love of all of those who have received revealed scriptures of enlightenment and love as the guideposts for the new millennium. Peace.
As a Jew, as Christian, as Muslim, as Native American, it doesn't matter. our traditions, our respective traditions, have given us the possibility of seeing things in terms of millennia as opposed in just the moment. And for all the evil and all the violence that is in the world, if we open our eyes, we can see that there is a difference. There was the creation of nuclear potential for destruction. But is it not a miracle that we did not push the button during the Cold War? Is it not a miracle that it is people such as ourselves who helped to see that that button was not pushed? That was not passivity.
If this world could sing in harmony, each nation would raise its voice in ecstasy, because every being had found their place at the table, and their homelands were once more inhabitable. Don't let your voice be missing, but raise it in ecstasy, because we are praying in every language that the global harmony will be our destiny. But the people of all nations were raised in every way, and in need of different kinds of nurturing every day. From the personal anger of the lack of parental skills, we will need to train ourselves in a dialogue that heals. And don't let your voice be missing, but raise it in ecstasy, because we are praying in every language that we know, that a so that we can reclaim the light.